Looking forward to that, but it's time to decide the sixth and final team. The odds are certainly stacked in the favour of Mouse, there's no doubt about that. 40 points over ART, 50 over BS Competition. Can they hang on?
Yeah, well, we'll soon find out, and now's the time as we now get set to finish, bring an end to tonight's festivities. One final place up for grabs. It's Mouse versus ART. Can Benneker bring once again further brilliance for Mouse, making it 3 in a row, a triple crown of sorts. 3 would be the dream to succeed and move to tomorrow's final. Let us know your predictions are in the live chat as well if you're tuned in on social media too, as now they put pedal to the metal and it is go, 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 go. And just look at this. At this stage, Benneker out in front. Oliveira also getting a good jump as well. Wheel to wheel between the two BMWs. Hart and Ellis Jr. figuring in the back. Look at this from Johan Hart, getting a lovely run out of turn one. He's going to run wheel to wheel with Oliveira, coming up through towards Eau Rouge and Radion. But back comes the BMW, the power, favouring the BS Plus competition machine as now they cruise over the hill and head up through Camel. It's Benneker who leads.
Half shaking his head because Benneker gave Oliveira the slipstream, and the Brazilian now returns the favour with some bump drafting too. Great teamwork from non-teammates, bizarrely, and the Apex Racing team are 3rd and 4th. Worst news for them is that Jimmy Antunes and Jamie Fluke both had an incident on the front straight before they barely got over the start-finish line. They'd crashed already.
Which is not ideal at all for the ART push towards getting a spot for tomorrow's final. It places it right in the hands now of Mouse, who have got 3 cars, all in 5th, 6th and 7th. And there's only 2 ARTs in 3rd and 4th, that being Johan Hart and Kevin Ellis Jr., but never count those drivers out. Both Johan Hart has been successful. His results have been fairly consistent, to be fair, but Kevin Ellis Jr. is obviously the one to watch based on previous form at this very circuit. But Keke Oliveira, who also has form on top of Max Benneker, he has won here before and he sat in 2nd place.
Mouse have navigated this first lap very well to keep Max Benneker his lead and to get their other cars into 5th, 6th and 7th position. And so for this to be ripped away from them late on here would be absolutely cruel, and one of the biggest turnarounds we've seen in ESL R1 Team Championship competition. Apex Racing team are the only team that can really do anything here. 3 teams are 3 points is probably all that Jamie Fluke and Jimmy Antunes can muster here. It's up to Johan Hart and Kevin Ellis Jr. to get a 1-2. It's down to them.
Yeah, Johan Hart made a slight headset adjustment there. A little bit of exasperation on his face as well. He knows they have a big task out in front of them. Obviously, it's integral as far as they're concerned that they give a grand performance just to close out this championship. But obviously, as things stand, only having 2 cars in that top 6, whereas Mouse have 3, and on top of that, hold 1 driver at the very top of the order. Max Benneker, not only with the lead, has just gone through and obviously secured the fastest lap at the same time. We're on lap 2 of 7. Keke Oliveira sat in 2nd place, still hovering in behind. Whether he'll plumb to make the move, I'm not quite sure yet. Might not deem it necessary, but Johan Hart might deem it necessary because he sat in 3rd and will have no qualms about trying to make the move for 2nd. He does have a look. They make contact up the road through Kemmel Straight now, and this time around the overspeed might favour Johan Hart. Will he filter in the back of the BMW belonging to the Mouse team, or will Keke defend the place as they now run wheel to wheel? They'll rub the paint off each other. The Mercedes and the Beamer. ART trying to flex a Melmedi with Johan Hart at the wheel. The young Frenchman, 26 years of age, around the outside of Sao Paulo's Keke Oliveira, who is now trying to push him back, retains 2nd place.
Well, that was pretty important, and Max Benneker could be away with the race win now as a result. If Oliveira continues to defend, as well he might, then there could be trouble for everybody else trying to win this race. But Oliveira defending well there, not allowing Johan Hart to get through. And also very interesting, Max Benneker giving the slipstream again to Keke Oliveira. He knows who he wants to win that battle.
Yeah. They can almost see their own reflection in that trophy we just briefly saw on the right-hand side. But unfortunately, the further they drop down, the further and further that dream disappears. And now, as we look, Keke Oliveira holding on to 2nd. Johan Hart knows that he must get past this BMW. BS Plus competition, might I add, already know that they're probably not in this fight. So Keke Oliveira might not necessarily be too concerned about stopping Max Benneker right now, instead favouring a BMW victory.
Yeah, it certainly is. As we've seen on almost all occasions in this group, ever since there's been a BMW in a last chance group like this. We've seen it win all but one race. Kevin Ellis Jr. round this very circuit in race 1 was the only other driver and only other manufacturer to do so. And at the moment, it's looking like that streak is not going to continue. Here is the look back from Kaki Oliveira, right the way back to 9th place now. It's all one long line.
Yeah, coming out of La Source now on lap 3 of 7. We're just before the halfway point. As soon as we break out of that middle sector, we will hit the halfway point. Benneker has cleared away by nearly 9/10 now, and that's certainly a time gap we shouldn't be too unfamiliar with. He stretched it further back at Monza. It went beyond 3 seconds, I believe, if I'm quite right, as they climb up through Kemmel. In fact, it was more. Was it 4?
Yeah,
4 seconds. Unreal. Further back, Johan Harth now. Kevin Ellis Jr. coming into this. A replay. And this is of the start. And Max Benneker, of course, with the jump. Very late on the brakes from Johan Harth. Actually tapped the rear of Max Benneker. But in the process, actually, I think it actually stopped him. It was almost that Benneker provided the brakes. This is what happened to Fluke and Antunes. Deary
Khan
me.
as well. Ibrahim Khan is the red BMW. And look at that. He's trying to stick his nose down a gap that's not there, I'm afraid.
Race control might look dimly on that one.
I think so. We will wait and see on that front. But yeah, for me, Ibrahim Khan has put his nose alongside Jamie Fluke and Jimmy Antunes when he really shouldn't. This has been going on while we've been watching the replay. It's become a battle for second place. The race winner's gone to Max Benneker, surely. It's door-to-door between BS Competition and Apex Racing Team, who basically now are fighting for second in the group. There's $4 on the line in terms of difference between those positions. And Kaki Oliveira, in his defensive second place, goes round the outside and holds on from Johan Harth.
Yeah, but they can't afford to forget about the trio of mouse cars that are sat behind either Christopher Dambitz and Moritz and Yuri Kazdorp. If they're broken loose, then they can furthermore add to that mouse points collective. Therefore, for them to secure their place into tomorrow's final, though Max Benneker might have already seen to that, as now Kaki Oliveira's in trouble. Johan Harth, the Frenchman, around the outside, coming through Blanchimont, very brave. Actually steps over the white line slightly, but it won't be too much of a concern. The heavy braking zone into the bus stop might yet carry him through. The run wheel to wheel. Over the curbs they'll go. He got a little bit unsteady coming out of the first half of the bus stop chicane, and unfortunately for him, Johan Harth that is, he suffered momentum loss coming out of the final corner.
Well, I would have given it a go into La Source, and he will. He'll bump Kaki Oliveira very wide, and so they get alongside briefly. But the Apex Racing Team Mercedes now are going to get hooked together, and surely they're going to draft past Kaki Oliveira, although the torque and the acceleration of the BMW again keeping them at bay for now. Up the hill they go, over the top at Radion. Look at the Frenchman now gaining, and now he'll switch to the inside, gifted the inside by Kaki Oliveira, who might well get past by 2 Apex Racing Mercedes.
We saw the Red Line Express back at Daytona. It's the ART Express this time, and we just see Johan Harth move into second. Kaki Oliveira losing 2 places as Kevin Ellis Jr. follows his teammate through, and that is teamwork in a nutshell. They're now sat in second and third now, ART. A huge levy here in this leaderboard. They've managed to move on up. Johan Harth taking further points, as is Kevin Ellis Jr. Kaki Oliveira now at the mercy of fellow BMW compatriots Christopher Dambitz, Moritz Lerner and Yuri Kazdorp.
An update from race control, by the way. We have had a penalty for Ibrahim Khan for that start lap incident, or start finish straight incident, I should say. 4 penalty points given to BS Competition. Would you believe it? Now Ibrahim Khan has contributed 12 penalty points to that team.
He's picking up the wrong points, Ewan.
He certainly is. Maybe on minus, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's after a different championship trophy. The wooden spoon, perhaps. As we now watch Max Benneker career away, 2.8 now. It could yet go beyond 4 again if it carries on the way it is. We are now past the halfway mark, well and truly. Lap 4 of 7, of course, and very soon it'll be coming down to the few laps remaining. Of course, we are on pretty much 3 laps remaining as it stands. Kaki Oliveira losing a little bit of tread to the ARTs in front. In fact, they're both benefiting off the slipstream from each other right now. Johan Harth towing along Kevin Ellis Jr. as they rush down towards bus stop. And the hooves are still stamping there for Kaki Oliveira. He is getting closer and closer. This fight is not over yet. We'll now begin the next lap now, which will be lap 5 of 7. Beneke taking them through. He's nearly 3 seconds clear and showing no signs of stopping.
Yeah, you may be wondering where this Max Beneke was yesterday. Well, he was performing yesterday, let's not forget. But I want to remind you of that incident at Jeddah at the start of race 3 yesterday. A huge pile-up. Max Beneke was the first to go round and the first to really block the field here effectively. Now, that put him way down in that race. Effectively, he couldn't maximise his sort of driving performance, if you like, yesterday as much as he has done today. That's why they were in so much trouble yesterday compared to what they're putting on today, which is actually a very good showing, and maybe this extra day of competition will help them going into tomorrow.
Yeah, well, Rene, the team boss, is going to be absolutely thrilled at Maus right now, but the fighting still continues for 3rd place. Johan Harth and Keke Oliveira going at it, and there's 2 Maus cars in behind. Make that 3 with Yuri Kansdorp as well. Oliveira going very deep at Brussels, as does Johan Harth, who looks to try and squeeze his way through now, putting that front nose onto the side. Or should I say it's actually Kevin Ellis Jr. No, it's not Kevin Ellis Jr.
It's
to
Harth,
apologise. It is Harth. I'm absolutely right the first time. Johan Harth just losing out narrowly, but he's managed to clamber onto it back through Pouhon. They'll go side by side. They've been side by side through the entirety of one sector. Make that nearly half a circuit as they now come down in towards the Lafanier chicane. Oliveira trying to go later onto the brakes. He's got a little bit more track to utilise, and unfortunately for Harth, he couldn't quite find it.
And now he goes for it again. Harth, does he into Stabilo? No. He'll decide to stay behind. This battle, though, is going to continue right to the very end. For some reason, Keke Oliveira has been able to defend from Johan Harth a lot easier than he was able to defend from Kevin Ellis Jr. And so now this has allowed the invitation of pressure to get onto the back of the Frenchman, who's going to the outside of Blanchimont. This could be something special. He's already tried this once, and he's going to do it again now with Christopher Dambeats right in there too. This time a little bit less successfully. He'll look back down the inside again though, into the bus stop chicane.
Yeah, Dambeats, the German, now in behind these two and might get a run here, this time on Johan Harth, who's under a little bit of jeopardy, got caught sideways a little bit coming out of the final 2 corners here at Spa. But coming through the bus stop chicane and out of turn 19 is Oliveira, who's now managed to consolidate 3rd place. Johan Harth in 4th, but has got greater concerns because now Maus are well and truly in with a shout. Just look at that trio of red sat behind Harth's Mercedes, and that's not a pretty picture if you're the 26-year-old Frenchman about to come up through Eau Rouge and Raidillon once more. We're on the penultimate lap of the race. Beneke out in front by over 3 seconds now. Oliveira also at risk because Johan Harth is on the climb, Ewan.
He doesn't know where to go though. And he's going on the outside. Christopher Dambeats with his teammates behind him. Go straight through on Johan Harth. He didn't know where to go there, the Frenchman, and I think going through the camel kink there, I think that Christopher Dambeats just got onto the left-hand side and prevented Johan Harth from getting a proper slipstream. That allowed Keke Oliveira to move onto the racing line onto the left, give the slipstream to his fellow BMW, and again, Apex continue to drop down the field.
Tightens the grip for Maus on this position for tomorrow's final as it stands, with Beneke being where he is, as well as Dambeats now moving higher than Johan Harth, means that they've got well and truly the number of points surely that they require to move ahead into tomorrow's final. Johan Harth still hovering all over the back of Christopher Dambeats, and in a little bit of contact heading in towards the Lafanier chicane. Keke Oliveira has got a few tenths in his favour just up the road ahead of these two. Of course, still holding his position in 3rd, but at this point, Dambeats, I don't think it'll be long before he closes that gap and essentially brings down the attack. Let's not forget about Moritz Lerner and Yuri Kansdorp in behind these as well.
And Ferris Stanley and Robbie Stapleford are here too. Now, don't forget, this is the final race of the day at the moment. Maus are extending their advantage over the Apex Racing team, who are extending their advantage over BS Competition. It's all a square as far as things go in the championship, but the racing is electrifying, and Johan Harth has been involved in almost all of it. Dambeats defends, Harth sort of defends from Moritz Lerner as well. It's a traffic jam into the bus stop.
Yeah, and you can just see what Dambeats, I think, is trying to do. He's trying to invite Moritz Lerner and Yuri Kansdorp into this too. Very, very high IQ racing here on part of the Maus team. We've obviously seen some stellar results on their part. Obviously, Beneke's done well. Talk us through it, Ewan.
very late on the brakes through turn 1. And so Moritz Lerner's going to be right on the back of the Frenchman, going down the hill in towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Surely now the Mercedes is going to be going backwards.
Well, he could yet, but you never know. He's sandwiched right in between. He will have some form of slipstream off the back of Christopher Dambis, but just look at the climb here from Moritz Lerner as he looks to burst up the straight here at Kemmel. But Johan Hart, I think, has the advantage as they now come up towards Lake Com. But will this be the chance here for Lerner to now gamble on the back? No, he lifts off, and now Hart goes side by side here with Dambis over this position in 4th. They're going to run wheel to wheel. Hart with the upper hand coming through Malmedy. Brilliant from Johan Hart. The tenacity of the ART man. A little bit of contact as they run over the curbs. But Hart, defending to the inside, once again solidifies the position in 4th place. A little bit of a gap to Oliveira now, but he's got 4th, and as far as he's concerned, that's all that matters, at least for now. But we are on the final lap.
We are on the final lap, and this is pretty much going to secure the championship positions that we had going into this round. Mals can't be caught with Max Benneker cruising home to another victory. Apex Racing Team also can't be caught because they're ahead of most of their rivals in most cases for PS competition. So it's all square as far as the championship goes. We've just been enjoying the racing for what it's worth. This battle for 4th place has been fantastic, and there's probably one more chapter in this story at the final bus stop chicane.
Yeah, it has been a truly turbulent day, full of action, surprises. We've had many, but one thing that should not surprise us is Max Benneker. 3 in a row, looks to be in prospect. A man synonymous with sim racing, the German, 30 years of age and still going strong. It all began, if you remember, back in the F1 Sim Racing Championship in 2017, but since then he's hit the heights, coming through the bus stop chicane. Furthermore, he's lifting Mouse aloft and taken them to the final. It's Max Benneker who wins at Spa, pole to victory once more, 3 in a row, the triple crown of sorts. A valiant drive from Kevin Ellis Jr. to come across the line in 2nd, and Kaiki Oliveira in 3rd.
He looks across just to make sure that his teammates have done their job too, and they absolutely have. He could see the smile of